Well, we've got something like an assignment that evaluates Mavuika, Citlali, and Pyro Traveler's kits based on their strengths, flexibility, and visuals. The info is from a pre-beta, but I think it will help to have a better idea of how these characters will work, since the source also adds a comparison to Neuvillette and Zhongli. So let's take a closer look. Flying Flame shared a detailed assignment of these upcoming characters based on their visual effects, strength at each constellation, mechanism, and flexibility. Let's go through these ratings and what they could mean. All three characters, Mavuika, Citlali, and Pyro Traveler, received a perfect 10 for visual effects. This means that they're expected to have top-tier visual effects and animations, which is very exciting. Next is Strength. The strength ratings give us an idea of how much each character will contribute to the team at different constellation levels. Starting with Mavuika, she starts at 5 for C0 and scales up to 10 at C6. She seems to be a solid pick for players looking for a powerful, versatile unit with constellations that significantly boost her team impact. Next is Citlali. She starts a bit lower at 4 for C0, reaching a 7 at C6. This suggests that Citlali could be more niche or role-specific and may not scale as impressively as Mavuika. Pyro Traveler, similar to Citlali, starting at 4 and scaling to 9 at C6. And here's the cool part. You'll be able to get Pyro Traveler at C6 just by completing the 5.3 Archon quest. You'll get an item to switch their constellation level so it's accessible without needing pulls. Flying Flame rates Mavuika's and Citlali's mechanisms at 8, meaning their kits likely have unique elements or playstyles that could make them interesting to use. The Pyro Traveler gets a slightly lower score of 6, possibly reflecting a simpler or less impactful kit in terms of gameplay mechanics. Flexibility indicates how easily these characters fit into various teams. Mavuika and Citlali scored a 7 and 8 respectively, making them fairly adaptable. Pyro Traveler scored lower here, with only 5, which might mean they'll have more specific use cases rather than being a plug-and-play unit for any team. This info might be a bit difficult to understand, but luckily Flying Flame gave us the same assignment for Neuvillette and Zhongli, so let's try to compare. The new characters all have a top score of 10 in VFX, suggesting standout animations that even surpass Neuvillette's 7 and Zhongli's 6. When it comes to strength, at C0, Neuvillette is scored 7 and Zhongli 8, which means they start stronger than Mavuika, Citlali, and Pyro Traveler's 4 to 5 range. But with more constellations, Mavuika reaches a top score of 10, equal to Neuvillette at C6. In mechanics, Mavuika and Citlali both score an 8, placing them close to Zhongli's 8, while Neuvillette stands out with a perfect 10. This indicates that Neuvillette's kit has highly refined, effective abilities, while the new characters have solid mechanics, but may not reach the same peak. When it comes to team flexibility, Citlali leads the new trio with a score of 8, making her adaptable across more team setups. Neuvillette's universality is slightly lower at 6, suggesting he's more situational, whereas Zhongli's high score of 9 reflects his role as a widely usable support. In summary, Mavuika shows high potential at full constellations, Citlali is flexible for team building, and all three new characters promise impressive visuals. Keep in mind that all this information is pre-beta and based on early leaks, so it's subject to change. Let me know your thoughts. Are you excited to see these new characters in action? And if you want to save up to 20% on Genesis crystals, visit lootbar.gg. All you need is your UID and server. The link is in the description.